Good afternoon, friends. We got there in the end. Good afternoon and welcome this fine Sunday afternoon. It is, of course, Sunday. It's just gone 12:15, and so you know what it is. It's our monthly online service where we unite the two worlds, bring the love of spirit into your living rooms, onto your phones, onto your TVs, onto your tablets and your computers, and share the truth that life is indeed eternal. So you are all most very, very welcome. Do engage in conversation. We are perfectly happy for you to chat amongst yourselves in the chat there. Just remember that sometimes there is more than one stream, so I will bring comments up onto the screen when appropriate to do so. It's wonderful to have you gathered here. It seems like only yesterday since we were last gathered here on the online service. But welcome to Chateau Del Nick in the Boudoir Del Brown, because it's time for some spirit contact and connection. And of course, each time we do this, we require a medium to do so. And it is with great joy and pleasure that I get to welcome a wonderful exponent of spirit to our service this month. We've been having a chat in the green room before the service, so we've kind of got to know each other a little bit. So please welcome our medium for this afternoon. It is the lovely Jo Lunn. Hello, are you there?
Hello, thank you for your very warm welcome, Nick.
Thank you, and welcome, and thank you for coming on. Looking very much forward to seeing you work today. For those that may not have bumped across you on that grand thing called the internet, though, um, uh, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and what have you been up to?
Well, I live in Cheshire. I'm near Manchester Airport, for those that fly and know the world by where airports are. So I'm some way away from you all. And I've been doing a lot of reading recently, especially over the last few months, because it's been cold here, probably been cold everywhere. And so I've been having a lovely time looking at the history of spiritualism and reading some of the really old, well, they seem old, but of course they're only last century texts, for inspiration till we can sort of come out of hibernation, which is happening around now. So yes, I've been having a lovely time and look forward to the post when another book arrives and then dip into it. So I've got my reading sorted out. So yeah,
Fantastic.
thank you.
Wonderful. Well, yes, certainly this household knows the world by the airports, because last year we were planning on visiting the Concorde Museum at Manchester Airport, because
Oh,
my other half's a bit of an airplane buff, so I know exactly where you are now. Yeah, must be psychic. Good, promising for today, loves. Trust.
start.
Good start, dear. Good start. Well, thank you for joining us, and it's lovely to hear that the yes, obviously our texts that we use for our philosophy aren't as old as everyone else's, but there's a wonderful wealth there from White Eagle to Silver Birch and everywhere in between. It's so brilliant. So it's lovely to find people that are still searching and seeking and learning. So thank you for being with us, and I pray that your books continue to flow.
Thank you so much.
Fingers crossed, in 6 months I might send you a signed copy of mine, but that's if it ever happens.
I look forward to it.
But thank you for being with us. Now, of course, if we've got a medium on the screen, we also need some recipients. And so I'm going to bring everyone out to say hello. In order of recipient arrival, I kid you not, people will not believe this. The first recipient to arrive today was, in actual fact, Linda. Hello. Hiya. You all right?
Yes, thank you.
Good, 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 good. Thank you for coming on and being a recipient and making my life easy in terms of getting you online. Welcome along. Now, next through the door is the lovely Norma. Norma, hello. Good
Hi.
to see you. Welcome along and thank you for coming. Looking bright and breezy and full of the joys of what should be soon spring, no less. So thank you again for joining us. Good to see you.
And June.
And next, now we are reaching our hand all the way around the world to give it a big hug by saying hello to Regan. Regan, are you there?
I'm here. Hello. How are
Yay.
we?
Lovely. I see you've switched to the mobile to get a better connection.
Yes, I have. Is it clearer now?
It's brilliant. You are
Oh,
flying,
good.
my friend. So welcome along. A truly
Thank you.
international service, no less. Thank you, Regan, for coming along,
Thank you for
and
having me.
welcome. You're very, very welcome. And of course, my friends, it wouldn't be a Sunday service if I didn't have my wing woman by my side, ready to give us a reading and keep things in check in terms of getting everybody online at the right time. So please welcome my glamorous assistant in the north, Kaza. Are you there?
I am here. It is a very hard job to keep you in line, Nick. So,
Yes, it really is.
I give
I'm not
I
going to
give
complain.
myself a pat on the back.
Yes, everybody who knows me knows that you just spoke the absolute gospel truth there.
Absolutely, Nick.
So thank you. And I know we've got a reading for today, but of
We do.
course, in order to get the ball rolling, let's begin this service by joining together and opening up in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, divine universal source of all, we thank you. We thank you for this opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under a banner of love and hope and friendship. As we begin this service and place it in your care and keeping, we ask that the veil be lifted, that our loved ones might draw close, and ask that all the healing angels and all the workers of spirit that work in particular with our friend today, Jo, come forward to help her to be that vessel of truth, of love, and of light. Amen.
Amen.
Well, so that is, of course, the opening prayer, and a big hello to Eunice, who is on the chat saying hello, to Trace. Hello, Trace. Welcome along. And Daryl is also with us. Good to see you, Daryl. And I know Kaza said hello to start the ball rolling in the chat, so I'll bring that up. And of course, I know there's a lot more watching because I've got the stats on the screen. There's a lot more watching than saying hello. You don't have to. You're not forced to. But if you feel like it, do say hello and let us know where you are, what you're up to. And remember, friends, share the love by sharing and commenting and reacting just so that we can beat that grumpy algorithm and get the truth of spirit out to the world. So, welcome along, everyone. And of course, as with every service, after the prayer, we segue nicely into the notices, of which there are not that many because it's always the end of the month. But it does mean that a new month is coming, which means that after next week, there'll be a new monthly 4-week workshop starting. So stay tuned for details on that. I saw that little head turn, Norma. Um, so there will be, of course, we're currently in the middle of doing our spirit art workshop. This time it's been very well received and everyone's been doing really wonderful work. So I look forward to starting again with something new next month. And of course, if anyone's ever interested, we do broadcast, although you can't get messages, unfortunately, because we're in the middle of the fens and the technology's a bit slow. But we do broadcast every service live on Facebook and YouTube every Thursday evening from 7:40, and it's there forever to watch if you wish to play catch up. Hello to Cherry Ann, all the way over in France. There, good to see you. So that is pretty much all of the notices for the online community right now, which means that we move over into the philosophy, which I promise to keep short. Now, one of the things I'm reminded for those that have never been before, Jo and I were discussing that a service is a service is a service before we began, and this is really important. That's very, very true. But there's always these subtle little differences that we as mediums traveling around have to get used to, acclimatize to, study and understand. And they can be sometimes really, really big, really, really small, and sometimes they don't even affect us. But one of the differences we have here in Littleport that I know others do as well is that we have the philosophy and then the reading. And this is just by allowing philosophy to become a proof of survival, in terms of we look for those connections within the philosophy that's given by spirit and how they then relate to the reading that's been given, rather than me sitting here and listening to a lovely reading and then taking the lead from it. Spirit know what's going on, so let's trust them enough to give a message that crosses between the two. Because I'm a great believer that we as spiritualists and spiritual folk need to trust the spirit more. And in order to trust the spirit more, we have to put it in their hands. And that's not washing our hands and absolving ourselves of responsibility. One of the principles, after all, is personal responsibility. But trust has to be earned, trust has to be grown, and you cannot grow trust without giving an opportunity to earn that trust. Equally, I'm not someone who gives trust without willy-nilly, in terms of I will just trust everyone as a default. That has to be earned. But my trust has to be earned just as much as that person who trusts me. I have to earn their trust, because we live in a world where things are very, very individual, very, very isolated. It seems strange to say that in a life where we are connected right across the globe. And on the screen, as you're sitting and watching today, we are literally representing the whole planet in terms of the chat, in terms of the screen. So the world can feel very, very small and very, very connected. But within that, the world can also feel very lonely, very divided, and occasionally a little bit divisive. This is not something that's going to be fixed overnight. This is not something that can be healed overnight. But what we can do is make a start by learning about trust and learning about respect and learning about truth in all of its facets. You see, truth isn't a singular machine, and truth isn't a singular line in the sand. Truth can be objective and it can be subjective. I could sit here and say, these are a pair of glasses, and that would be an objective truth. But a subjective truth is, these are a really nice pair of glasses that really, really suit me. It's subjective. Some people will disagree, and that's fine. So long as we learn to work in spirit when we have disagreements, as much as when we have our agreements, we can help facilitate a growth within the world that brings us back to a path of communication, a path of compassion, and a path of love. Why is this important? Because we know that the spirit world is a foundation of love. If we took at the parental love of the Great Spirit and the kinship of the human family, that is two of our great principles in whatever way you word it, love is the root of it. But how do we prove all of these things we say? By communication. And so in order to move the world forward, we need to remember that love and communication are not just the tools of this way of life, but they are also the tools of humanity. And together we can shape the world and grow the world by going a little bit easier on each other, respecting each other's positions, without having to descend into a furball, as a friend of mine once said. So trust that spirit will always know what you need. Whether it's what you want is another matter entirely, but that's a philosophy for another day. But trust and respect each other, and trust that spirit will always guide you down a path of learning and growth. But ultimately, we are the ones that have to carry within us acceptance. But that can only be done by listening as much as we speak, which means spirit are telling me to shut my mouth. So I'll say thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. And at that point now, as I said at the beginning of the philosophy, is we will now segue straight over to our reading. So to give us, of course, this month's reading, please give a big round in the comments and wherever you see fit to our reader of the reading. Please go for it. Kaza, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Nick. The title of my reading is We Are All Equal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So as many of you know, I am a huge football fan and I wear my team colours with pride. It's a passion of mine, a real love for the beautiful game. But one day last week, I was very saddened after watching a match. It's where tensions were high after a professional player was allegedly racially abused by another professional player. It was upsetting to witness, which reminded me of how much hurt and hate still exists in this world today. God made everyone equal. Sorry, I just muted myself there. I am no better than you, and you are no better than anyone else. We are all equal. We all bleed red. We all have one heart. We all breathe the same air. God teaches us to love everyone. So when we see someone being treated unfairly, what do? Do we stay silent, or do we speak up? We should always stand up for what is right. We should always stand up for what is kindness in this world. Even the smallest acts of kindness can make a huge difference in someone's life. Jesus showed us how to treat people. He spoke kindly to those who others spoke down to. He welcomed everyone, no matter who they are. He saw people's hearts. He didn't judge. He didn't judge anyone by the colour of their skin. And that is the way it should be. Sadly, it's not always the world that we live in. We live in a world filled with love, but also with hate. Sometimes because of skin colour, sometimes because of who someone loves, and sometimes simply because they look different, even small things like having tattoos. Let us try and see people the way God sees them: kind, unique, and loved. So when the world shows hate, let us show love. When the world divides, let us unite. And when the world stays silent, let us be the voices that stand up for what is right. Thank you, Nick.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Bravo.
Thank you.
Kaza. And I promise you all, we did not collaborate at
We
all.
absolutely
It was
did
my
not.
guides and Kaza's guides completely. And there you see is the proof that philosophy can be a message from spirit. Wow. Thank you. Such a beautiful reading there, Kaza. And again, proof that spirit know what's going on. If that can't earn a little bit of trust in them, I don't know what can. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, one of the things in order to help move the world forward that would be useful, especially right now, and I just have to dip in there and say hello to Valerie. Sorry I missed you. I was yakking as usual. And hello to Chris, who says Amen to Kaza. Absolutely agree with you. Well, one of the things that we can do to help the world is send out some love and healing ourselves. And so that is what we are going to do as part of our service now. Of course, after the healing, I will be then giving over the reins of this service to our medium for today. But for the next around about 3 minutes, we will be focused on sending out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. At this time, we recognize all of those written in all of the healing books in all of the spiritualist churches throughout the land and beyond. We recognize all of those that are in need of healing in the minds of those that know them. And of course, we recognize those who are in need of healing that have no one to ask for them. And so, to take us into a few moments of contemplation and sending out our thoughts, we will now listen to the healing prayer, which has been written on the inside cover of our healing book at Little Port since 1998 and has now been made into a wonderfully uplifting tune. And so, if you feel the need to share a name in the chat, they will be put on stream to include in part of the healing for people to send out to. But now, friends, let's send out our thoughts as we gather together and send out our love to all those in need.
Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, divine source of the universe and great Creator. Here we bring unto you all those listed in all the healing books throughout the land. Be they sick in mind, body, spirit, or soul, that it may please thee to heal them, those we know, those we do not know, those that have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Those we know, those we do not know, those that have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Be they sick in mind, body, spirit, or soul, that it may please thee to heal them, those we know, those we do not know, those that have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. We ask for them now. Now.
Thank you, friends. You know, it's funny in a service in a hall. There's always this rather warm feeling descend upon a service when you've sent out your healing thoughts. And it's no different when you're online. It really isn't, especially when the screen now fades and blends in very, very gently. It's like the technology knows what we're doing. It's truly beautiful. So thank you all for sending out your thoughts. And in a moment, I'm going to hand over the rest of the service to the wonderful Joanne, who's been so patiently waiting there, getting ready to work. But first, a couple of important pointers in terms of how it's going to run. Of course, Jo will be working with those that have come online with us on the screen to get a message. We tend to not throw it out to those watching online because the delay is so terrible. We'd be waiting about 6 months to get a yes or no to a piece of evidence. But that doesn't mean you can't get a message in the future, of course, because if you wish to be considered for the raffle, we put all the names of those that want to come on in a hat, and Kazza pulls out those that are going to come on. So if you'd like to come online with us for a reading next month, please drop Kazza a line and let her know your name, and she'll put you in the hat. But most importantly, please send your love, your thoughts, your support, and your good cheer to a wonderful exponent of spirit. Please welcome our medium for today, Jo Lunn. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Nick, for such a lovely, warm welcome. And I have to say, I have really been enjoying the service, the philosophy, the readings, and I was just blown away by the healing song. So that was just very powerful. Everything has been. So I now turn my attention to the spirit world and want to see who is going to draw near at this time. I do feel there's a gentleman drawing close. And this gentleman is already making me feel that he has a sense of humour, because he's laughing at the fact that I've used the word gentleman, and he's playing with the word and in a lovely way. He does feel, he's making me feel that he was a grandfather. He could be a grandfather of somebody here, but he has got that energy as well, that I do believe that he was a grandfather in this life. And he feels that you would remember him as having quite a twinkle in his eye and always ready. He feels that he's quite humble in his approach, hence he's laughing at the fact of I've introduced him as a gentleman. And I'm just asking him for some more information to see who would understand this gentleman I'm going to go with again, and he's laughing. He feels as if he could have had some connection to teaching. He certainly liked to teach people around them. He was interested in people developing, and he instinctively would want to share his own knowledge with people. So when I'm saying teaching, it was that willingness to share. Does anybody understand this gentleman at the moment? And I can't be sure, Nick, because I've not worked on your platform before. Should I see hands at all at this stage, or do you?
People will wave at you and let you.
So I've just got, I can only see 5 people, if I don't include myself. Should I be seeing more people, or would
That's it? That's the 6 pictures on the screen is all you will see. It's everyone.
All right. So it would. All right. So nobody is understanding this at the moment, the way it's being given. Okay. And I'm now hearing the name Charlie being offered. So I do feel there is a connection to that name. And I think he also would have used a phrase along the lines of somebody being a right Charlie. It was a phrase that somebody should understand.
I can understand. Charlie was a teacher. He didn't have any children, but his brother did.
Okay, thank you very much.
I can take the connection with his brother.
All right. And I do feel as if this connection is with you. There is a response here. But you would understand that he was quite grandfatherly towards, like as a senior man, he had that sort of role, albeit not. And there's sometimes, right, thank you. So may I work with you, please? And I want to see, and he has got this sense of humor. When he's using this phrase, right, Charlie, it's as if at times he was made to feel a little bit foolish, or he would soften things. If somebody, I feel that it was in his nature that if somebody felt a bit embarrassed, he would soften that for them and would be ready, very ready to take the focus off them and share an experience he had, so that somebody would laugh at what he'd experienced.
Yes. Yeah.
So he would save somebody from feeling
Off.
pain.
Yeah.
He would shift it in that way, and he is he feels like a very considerate person. The fact that he was sensitive to other people and was prepared to take that, and he is talking about things changing, and that he's aware, and this I think will have some meaning to you, Casa, that you will know, and I know I've heard your reading as well earlier on, that not everybody is like that in this world at the moment.
Yeah.
And he feels that things have changed a little bit in a different way, and that you would be aware of a situation where instead of somebody trying to soften something for somebody, they would be more prepared to sort of try and point the finger. So if they felt they'd been caught out in something, instead of owning up to it, somebody that you would understand is more prepared to try and not deflect it, but push it in a different way.
Yes.
So it's exact opposite to what this gentleman would do. So this is obviously evidence that he is around you and is aware is what is going on in your life. But I do feel that there is, I'm not saying he's sad in the spirit world, please don't take away that he is, but there is some reflection on how things change. And this gentleman is really, because in his life he was about sharing his wisdom and wanting people to learn, he is talking about how people learn still. And I believe that you are aware of this with the person that he is talking about. And I do feel he is wanting to say that you also, because he's aware of you, have this ability to try and reach out, and that what you try and do is teach by example. Would you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Right. And because I feel as if you've been pondering, he's making me aware, he's saying to me that you have, that you've been wondering what more can you do in a situation. And he's coming forward with saying, but you're already doing a lot, because by what you do and who you are, that you present an example of a different way of being to certain people. Would you understand this?
I understand.
And he is praising you for that. And he's really wanting to almost own you as a grandchild. I know he came in as a grandfather, but we've established that biologically that wasn't the case. But he's claiming some credit here. Although he's a lovely, humble man, he does feel that he had some influence in your life, and he's very proud of you as a grandparent. There's that sense of pride of who you are and who you've become and how you are in the world. And I just want to, I know you've mentioned football, and I'm checking if there's anything that he's wanting to leave you with. I do feel, right, he's showing me a football scarf. Now, well, it looks like a football scarf. I'm checking with him that it is a football scarf, and I haven't jumped to conclusions. And I've got to say, it's got white and red on it, whether that means anything to you or whether it meant something to him. But I got a glimpse of the colours white and red. So could you bear that in mind?
That's my English football team's colours.
Well, he's giving you the scarf, so more evidence that he is around you. And yes, this is, I feel, the message that he wants to give to you at this time. So thank you for allowing me to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was my papa's brother. So that's where the grandfather connection came on. It was his brother. So thank you so much. Beautiful message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Right. Let's bring everyone back and reset the clock. I would just like to add a name to the healing. I've just had a text message. Can we all send our healing thoughts to Cheryl, please, who comes to Littleport, but it doesn't matter whether you know her or not. Please send some healing urgently needed right now. Thank you. Well done, Jo. Back to you.
Thank you very much. So I am now seeing who is drawing near. And as I turned my attention to the spirit world, I did hear the name Margaret. So if you can just bear in mind that there could be a Margaret connection here. Now, the lady that I feel is stepping forward, as I mentioned the Margaret connection, I also heard the word sister. So I feel that Margaret could have been her sister, or there's a sister in the spirit world. And I'm asking her for some more information. Right. I was asking her for some information, obviously, about herself that somebody will understand. And she's talking about being a light on her feet. And I almost got the impression of the old ballroom dancing where you didn't want to tread on people's toes. But she had a lightness in her step, she's telling me. This could be metaphorical as well. Does anybody understand the information at the moment? Hello, Norma.
I can take my granny's sister called Margaret, and she has come through once,
right?
And I think somebody mentioned about dancing, but I don't know much about her.
All right, well, let me see if I can work with you. And it does feel that I could be with you from the reaction I am getting. Unless she comes near and she's heard your voice, I have to say to you, you would understand that somebody's been stepping on your toes recently. You would understand this? Can you understand this information?
Possibly more than once.
Or sorry, that might be my turn of phrase, but it was stepping on the toes. There's somebody around you where there's a feeling. Well, we know that stepping on the toes means that they're pushing your boundaries and stepping into things that you can identify with this. Right, you seem to have muted. Are you still live? Is your voice still there? Can I just hear your voice again?
Yes, I'm still here.
Thank you very much. All right. So this lady is around, and often they come in with something, but it also goes into the message and is the information in relation to that. So she is aware of what is going on in your life at the moment. Right. She's sort of talking about this situation and about asking somebody to step back. So in her opinion, she's carrying on with the metaphor that she's brought in with the dancing of sort of people. There's something about timing as well. So there's a question of rhythm in terms of, when people dance out of step, so they haven't got the rhythm. There's something in this situation, not only are somebody treading on your toes, but they're out of sync with the rhythm of the whole thing of what is going on. And when she's talking about this, she's talking about the fact that they don't know. Well, she feels it's not their place anyway, but they don't know when it is their turn either. There's something about them not knowing their place and not knowing their turn. So she's talking about the cause really of what is going on, and I feel as if she's showing me boundaries. So I feel as if I need to mention that word to you, and it's a question of somebody not keeping to their own boundaries. Would you understand this?
Yes, so that would be more in my whole life.
All right. Let me see a little bit more, because she's deepening that out. And as I know, I need to acknowledge you've just fed me with the fact that it's in your whole life, but don't worry about that, because she'd already moved into that. And obviously this is a public service, so I don't want to open up things too much, but she's talking about having boundaries in place. So it's not, she's wanting to suggest from her perspective that there is something that you can do to put boundaries in place. Sometimes we can think, oh, well, when we're looking at a situation, well, the other person can make some changes. The other person shouldn't be doing this. And she's agreeing with that, but she's also being a very positive in her suggestion that there's things that you can be doing to, and she's talking about you reclaiming your power. Are you all right with me carrying on with this message and working with you? So it's about knowing your power, because she says she can see it and it is there, but for whatever reason, somebody else is choosing to ignore it. And she's saying in life, so this is in no way a criticism of you, that we can have people around us that, because it suits what they want to do, they will try and push it. And also she says as well, she's wanting you to be aware of the concept of people testing boundaries. So if they do something, we let it go because we're kind and loving people and we don't want to embarrass them or show them up, for all the reasons we might have of being compassionate, that if we are not saying firmly, actually, that's not okay with me, they will continue to push because they're testing it. Would you understand this? So, and I do feel she's praising your compassionate nature. She knows that what is happening is coming from the fact that you are a loving person. And I think it does fit back a little bit into the philosophy. I can't get quite back into the words that were being said, but there is something about who we can trust, and we have to trust ourselves. She's saying you need to trust what is right for you. You need to say, this is okay with me. And we can't always think that other people will necessarily behave in a way that we want them to, and therefore we can't just, there is this other side of compassion. And she's very much talking, if you don't mind me carrying on, about you having compassion for yourself. She is full of praise and admiration for who you are. She's wanting you to be compassionate, and she's not in any way seeing anything. She doesn't want you to beat yourself up. She's saying she doesn't want you to think that you are failing, but it is about the dynamics that can be going on, and that you can hold your own boundaries and say what's all right for you from a loving place. And it's for the other people to take it in the spirit that you give it. And this is what she's really wanting to talk about. And she says then that the rhythm will return, the rhythm will come back, the people knowing their place when it's their turn to speak or act will come back. It's like and she's going back to the ballroom analogy again of people make a move, but you make a move when it's your turn to make the move. Oh, and she's talking about, she's extending this, she's talking about choreography, and that if we had all the dancers on a stage, you still have to have choreography. People have to know when they're meant to stand still and let somebody else move, and when they're not meant to stand still and they make a move. And she's really talking very much about the divine spirit and divine plan in life, and that life is choreographed, but we don't always see what is going on in the moment in life. But there is this greater plan going on as well that she wants to draw your attention to. And she wants you to hold on to the true beauty that is there in that place. So can I leave this lovely lady with you, and thank you for work with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hope you enjoyed that, Norma. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Excellent. Right, let's get everyone back on the screen, and we can then.
People keep changing places on the screen.
I know.
Frustrating.
I get just as
It adds
frustrated.
to the excitement, doesn't it?
It does. It makes it also look like there's more people than there is.
Oh, is that the trick? All right. So I now turn my attention again to the spirit world and see who is wanting to speak next. Right, so I've just looked at the message at the bottom, but that's not from Spirit. That's from, was it Carol? I've forgotten the name already. I haven't got a very retentive memory. Right. Linda, I'm going to come direct to you if I may, because I feel very drawn to work in that way with you. So
Okay.
may I do that, please?
You may.
Now, I do feel as if I've got a gentleman here. And would you understand, can you understand the name Roy?
No.
Well, I still feel that whoever is with me is reacting to your name, and I do feel that I am working with you. Would you understand a brother in spirit?
People say I have one, but I didn't ever know.
Right. Okay. Let me ask for some more information. I'm going to still work with you because I'm feeling that the pull is there, and I want to acknowledge that. But I want some information that you would understand. I do feel I have got somebody. If he's not a brother, then he is somebody that you would have known that could have been like a brother that is in the spirit world. So he could have been a very close friend, somebody that that felt brotherly. That there is somebody. Can you understand it in that way?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Because it's making me laugh because I was trying to describe the brotherly relationship. And of course, we all know that siblings argue. And he was reminding me before I started trying to carry on about describing what a brother might be like, that relationships can be very different. But I feel that this person, by the very nature that you were close, would you understand that you might have even known this person when you were at school? I feel that the relationship goes back a long way.
It's possible.
All right, thank you. Because I do feel that there was a sort of growing up, that obviously when you're brothers and sisters, you grow up together. And the overwhelming sense is that somehow you watched each other grow up and you had a part in each other's lives. And I do feel drawn to the age of about 10 or 11 with this, that there was somebody in your life at that time, that there was a lot of trust and a lot of understanding. I feel as if you could be with this person and you understood each other. You didn't always have to talk. There was, if you were in a room together, so you weren't necessarily just one-to-one, but when you were in a room and other things were going on, you sort of had each other's backs and you just had this understanding. Do you remember this?
Sort of, yes.
All right, because this is the feeling that he's bringing forward. There was a lot of trust there, and with him, I keep seeing a book as if, and he's not showing me what this book was, but that is significant, and I'm asking him why it's significant. He's just carrying this book, but I can't be clear whether it's a book that was printed or whether it was an exercise book. But there is something in this book that is closed at the moment as I'm looking at it. Oh, he's saying you sang from the same page. You were on the same page. So he's just presenting what he's been giving in a slightly different way. And that was important. I do feel in life that he passed earlier than you. Well, obviously he's in spirit and you're not. So I guess that's saying, sorry, just correct myself. But I also feel that there is something that he passed some time ago. But I feel as also that when he talked, because I made that's not something I've ever sort of said to somebody before, I feel as if he might have made faux pas, that he couldn't always say what exactly it was he wanted to say. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Because that was a very odd faux pas to make, but I feel as if it came from him to show his character. And that was the case. And I feel as if you naturally felt a little bit protective towards him. You wouldn't want anybody to make fun of him. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let me just see then, we've established that you do have some memory of this person, and I want to say there's a lot of gratitude from him for the way you were with him. He makes me feel that you made his life easier in some ways, and he felt safe when you were around, he's telling me. He took comfort in your presence, and I do feel he was quite a quiet boy. He's saying at this stage he was quite quiet. He was a little he I don't feel he was very confident in around people, and he thrived, he's telling me, far better when he was in situations that were one-to-one. That's when he came out, and that's when he showed his true character. Would you understand this?
Yeah.
Right. And that's what he's wanting to talk about now, of the he's wanting to talk about. Oh, he's saying we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Do you remember I said he was carrying a book? He's just said we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, because we should take the trouble to get to know people and to spend time with them. And it's when we are able to do that, although I felt you always saw him quite clearly, but when we do that and we look what's inside the book, that's when the true richness exchanges can happen. And he's talking about people missing out on that. Would you understand that there might be a situation around you at the moment where you're noticing some people, someone being overlooked because people aren't taking the trouble to really look to see who they really are?
Yeah.
Because I feel as if he's coming in very strongly about his own experience to acknowledge this again now, and that he knows you know already the importance of doing this. So it's evidence that he's around you and witnessing what is going on, and reiterating really very much his gratitude for you. And he's wanting me to use the phrase about, the phrase about horses. You can take a horse to water, but we can't make them drink. So I feel as if you might be trying to influence in some way some of the people that in your life now that are not taking the trouble to get to know somebody, but there is some resistance. Not people don't necessarily want to feel it's a younger person that is having this experience, and that you have the possibility of trying to influence some of the dynamics in this situation. But he's talking about when you can lead people to water, but that's as far as we can go. Well, horses, in fact, not people. But you would understand this.
Mm.
And he's talking about all in good time. And he also is feeling and wanting to say that the people that are missing out are the people that aren't looking inside the cover of the book, the people that are too quick to judge. It's their loss, he's saying. Although it might seem painful to the person that's being overlooked, it is the other people in the longer term that miss out, because they're not able to interact with that beauty in life and that all that has to offer, because they're not ready for that at this time, he's saying. Would you understand this? So may I leave this gentleman's love with you, and thank you for letting me work with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Uncle. When it's Mum, I don't need to see her nodding or shaking her head, because I have my own understanding. Lovely, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that, Mother.
I did, yes, thank you.
Let's bring everyone back. I think we've got just about time for another one, which is lucky, really. Here we go. Everybody's back. Are we all here? Yes, we are. Hello. Jo, over to you again, my love.
Okay, so let me just take a moment to thank the person that's just been and to see who's now coming in. I'm immediately hearing a name, so I'm going to give it out. But as we know, my names aren't always accurate, but I like to give them in case they are understood. So I am hearing the name of Timothy. is the name I am hearing, and I'm going back to that energy. The person, I feel as if it is a young man that is coming forward, and I'm encouraging them. They feel quite private, and I'm asking them to come forward and say more about themselves. And Reagan and Nick, I'm aware that I haven't worked with either of you, so I am just trying to see if there's somebody that's coming forward. I'm feeling quite pulled to you, Reagan, but it's also because I was aware that I hadn't worked with you yet, so I need to acknowledge that. So this person is coming in. Reagan, would you understand why I've got to mention the Wizard of Oz? I often get the Wizard of Oz. This is so that it's something about how they work with me. I just want to check with Nick. Nick, I know would you understand the Wizard of Oz as having any significance for you?
A little bit, but keep going because it may well be.
Thank you very much. So right, so let me just carry on. Reagan, I do feel that this they've gone straight into the mythology of the Wizard of Oz, which I never understand. And every time I work with spirit, I have to go away and look at it again afterwards. But there is something to do with the Yellow Brick Road, I think, people being on a journey and people having various deficits. And I'm talking about the Tin Man here, who I think the Tin Man didn't have a heart. I'm asking Spirit to help me here. Does this resonate with you in any way?
Not really, no, it doesn't.
Right. Can I just check, because I'm working with people on screen, is that right? Does it have any resonance with anybody? Okay, let me keep on working with spirit because I trust in the spirit world and I want to see more about what is being said. Right, and I'm being taken to a lion for courage. I can't remember whether there's a lion. I don't want to remember. I want spirit to be telling me. So I'm going to stay with spirit. I'm not going to my mind, but there is somebody coming forward. Right, I'm going to stay with the spirit world, who feels they are. Would somebody understand in the spirit world? Somebody who didn't feel that they were very courageous when they were in this world. Let's go with it that way. So they were a little bit timid. And because they were a little bit timid, they didn't show their feelings. So they had stronger feelings than they expressed. And they feel that they were definitely perceived as being a little bit cowardly, and they're owning that. So please don't feel offended. They are bringing this forward about their own character, that they are using those words. Does anybody feel that they know somebody in the spirit world that they're saying to me that they could have done more. They could have done more. And I feel that is about standing up in life a little bit more. I do feel I've got a person that is a man, and this is why he's quite quiet, because I think they were quiet in life. I feel as if they were a bit frightened of expressing their emotions or their opinions.
I have to say, if Regan, you can't understand this. I was trying so desperately not to accept it, but it does. That last bit confirmed it. Yes, I can understand it.
And may I have your permission? You're chairing it. Are you chairing? I'm not sure who's chairing. May I work with you, please?
You can. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me just stay connected with the spirit world, because this person is being really courageous in acknowledging what they feel were perceived. They're being very honest that they were perceived as having some shortcomings, that people wanted to shake them sometimes and say, come on, you can, like that's the energy that they're bringing forward. You would understand this.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now they're showing a slightly different side to them, and they're saying, "But you're not like that, are you, Nick?" So you would understand them. And I obviously, when he met you today for the first time, this is coming from the spirit world. And I do feel that they looked up to you. And I feel as if they're wanting to talk about the fact that you do have the courage over your convictions, they're saying, Nick. They're saying that you're not afraid to speak your truth, but they're also really want to compliment you on that, because your ability to speak your own truth and stand up for your convictions helps other people to do the same. Now, obviously, I know that you're a reverend, so this is what they're giving me. As you know, we came in on the strength of a lion in the spirit world, and we've moved our way around to this. But, and I'm not opening up anything on too personal, would you understand that within your closer circle, so not just in this role that you have now, would you understand that you have been helping somebody to have more courage in this present time, or somebody needs to have more courage and you've been wanting to help them with that? Because if it goes beyond just, what I could read from knowing your role.
Absolutely. Oh, of course.
So they are really pleased that you are doing that, and they are acknowledging that, and they're just giving a lot of respect to you and confirming that there's a lot of love there. And I just want to go back. Right. What they're saying, that in their opinion, they want to say to you that when one of the things they feel is that would be helpful is we can have the courage of our convictions, but we have to have the convictions first. So they're talking about this chicken and egg situation, and that what might be helpful to understand is maybe this person doesn't quite yet. It's not less so much that they don't have the courage. They're not quite certain of what they think and how to express it. They're still learning that. And with this comes the importance of self-knowledge and self-belief, because we can't stand up for something until we know that we have it inside ourselves. So that this might be helpful for the person to explore more what they do stand for, because once you know that, then the rest, in this man's opinion, is easier, because one follows the other, and he's saying that you can't put the cart before the horse. It's got to come the other way round. So, and this is really what he's come forward and is wanting to share with you now, and he feels as if that just might be a helpful insight that he's sharing with you, for a situation at the moment. And again, he's full of admiration for where you are in the world and what you've achieved and the power of your own convictions. So may I leave this gentleman's love with you?
Absolutely, yes, you can. Thank you very, very much. And it's the second time in a fortnight he's actually been through. Thank you.
Right.
Very, very insightful there. And yes, there is a joke about the yellow brick road, but I will tell you that afterwards.
Okay.
We've got about another 10 minutes. Did you want to try a...
Yes, I understand. Let me just see. I'll just see, because you said it was my last message. I'd sort of almost letting it drop, but the spirit world's never far away. And let me see again if I can bring something through for the lovely Reagan. And again, I've been given a name, and I'm going to give it anyway because I always feel I should honour it. Reagan, would you understand the name Harry?
Yes, an uncle, distant uncle, great uncle.
Right. Let me keep on working. It was a very quick flash of the name, and and actually, as you respond to me, feel there's a connection there. So let me just see, and I know you've given me the relationship, so let me see what I can bring forward at this time. Would you understand why I'm being shown a train?
I live on train tracks, like literally next to them.
Right, yeah, thank you. Yeah, okay, thank you. So this is evidence, just confirmation for you. But you would hear there's a noise with the trains is making me feel, even though in some ways they're more silent now. But there is some noise, or it's even like a change in the pressure in the air when a train goes through. There's something, an awareness of the trains coming and going that you have.
Oh, you can hear them. You can hear them very clearly. You'll probably hear it soon.
All right, but can you understand a change in the air pressure? I think it's the air pressure you're trying to tell me about. Don't worry if you can't, because I'll accept that you can hear the trains and you can take trains. But would you understand that you yourself are sensitive to changes in atmosphere?
Yeah, very sound sensitive, and yes, energy sensitive.
And energy sensitive. So it's you being sensitive to changes in the atmosphere, I feel, is what he's wanting to acknowledge. This is evidences around you, of course, and he knows what is going on. And would you sometimes I just want to go straight back to him and ask him what he's saying about this change in because the changes in the atmosphere, he's saying, it happens in a flash. It's like you're very open to it, and it's that sensitivity because you expect it because you know it happens and you understand yourself when you know it happens. But would you understand sometimes you would prefer possibly not to have the full effect of that all the time, that there's times when
100%.
yeah, because that's what he's talking about. I was trying to make sure he was giving it in that way. So this again, evidence that is around you knows what you're thinking and what is going on for you in at this time. Reagan, he's talking about the power of prayer. Would you understand this? He's talking about the fact that we can set sorry, that's my dog joining in. Right. He's talking about the fact that we can set an intention to calibrate things a little bit more, and we can ask to have some peace and quiet when we want to. It's okay. He's saying it's okay. We don't always have to be an open channel for the spirit world or for everything that's going around us, and that you can ask for some help with this and give yourself permission to be able to have a rest from it when you need a rest. Would you understand this? But he is talking about this happening because you just have to say, actually, I'm tired today, I want to do this. Or you don't even have to be tired, it's your choice. When you want to spend some time with the family, or however you want, for whatever reasons, he's not categorizing the reasons. He's just trying to say you can give yourself some permission to say, right, I want some a break or some time where you're not constantly have that exposure. And that comes we can think of prayer as being an intention and a prayer to the spirit world, to, however you pray, to ask for that, and that is completely okay. And he just wants to remind you of that, and to have that compassion for yourself on what you need as well. And I feel that that's very needed at the moment. Would you understand that?
Yep. Yep.
And just to remember that it is okay to take care of yourself, to take care of your own world, so that you can conserve your energy and strength, and that you will never be let down by this world of spirit. So may I leave that message with you, and thank you for letting me work with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I couldn't find my mouse. My mouse disappeared. There we are. Bless you, Regan. I hope that was all right. Lovely. You know, I remember now because obviously I'm covering for Karen tomorrow on SPTV. And I remember now that once when we met before, you mentioned about the train track. So as soon as you said, I was like, yes, that's it. We're there.
Very similar, like forum like this on a live one day. I think it was with Minty. I'd
Oh, yes.
broken my ankle, yes, and they were outside, and the train's coming through. So yeah, it's very close. It's literally just there.
Wow. Bless your heart. Wonderful. That's proof of spirit. Wonderful. Thank you for coming on as well, Regan. It's so lovely to see you again.
Thank
And
you.
of course, it's lovely to see everybody else. So let's bring Kaza back. Let's bring Mother back. Let's bring Norma back. There we are. And we're all back. And thank you to Joanne for a truly inspired and wonderful demonstration of authentic mediumship. Bless your heart. It's so nice in this modern, fast-paced world in which we live to see authentic mediums getting a good platform. And may your work truly be blessed and keep going, because absolutely love you, my friend. Love you. And I tend to share stuff usually when I get a message, because I think it's only fair. But this one's a bit of a, it's not really for me, but for someone else. And that's the second time in a fortnight he's been through to me. So, I fully understand the message, and also his sense of humour as well, in terms of the joke about being a friend of Dorothy's. So there we are. It was a comment that might have been made once or twice over the years. But thank you, Jo, for a wonderful demonstration. To everyone at home and everyone online, our medium for today, the lovely Joanne Lunn. Thank you very much.
That was lovely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And so, my friends, we are almost at the end of our time together. A quick reminder that we are back online on Thursday evening, live from the Village Hall at 7:40, where you can watch and join in terms of having a chat, joining in the healing, being a part of the community that is the Independent Spiritualists Alliance, and also, you can't exactly have the tea, coffee, cake, and biscuits at the end of the service, but you can make them yourself and join in and be a part of it that way. But thank you all for being online, both those on the screen and also everyone at home. It really makes a difference, and it really means a lot that you keep coming back month after month to these online services. Kaza, my darling, who have we got next month?
We have got Sarah Woman.
Wonderful. So another one to look forward to. And of course, that will be on the last Sunday of the month, as always. So if you would like to come on and get a message from the lovely Sarah, then drop your name to Kaza. She'll put it on a piece of paper, stick it in a baseball cap, give it a jiggle, and pull the names out for those that can come on and get a message. But again, a big thank you to all of you for coming on. And one final time, a big thank you to the lovely Joanne Lunn. May your work truly be blessed.
Thank you so much, Nick, and thank you for having me on your service.
You're very, very welcome, and I'm sure you'll be back. And of course, if you're ever on your way to a visit to Stansted Hall, you can give me a wave and have drinkies on the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, friends, now of course is the time to close our service, and we'll do that in the traditional and formal way of closing this afternoon in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Divine Universal Source of all, we thank you for our time together. We thank you for that connection, and we thank you for the upliftment provided by the proof of the continuity of life. As we go out into the world, let us take with us that message of upliftment, of love in all eternity, and of the trust and respect that we can share as a species together for each other, making the world a better place. And so, as we take that message out into the world, should we find times of difficulty and struggle, we ask you, Great Spirit, do not move the mountain, but do give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again, in your name, Amen.
Amen.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, as they say, is that. A big thank you to everyone for joining us. A big thank you to everyone at home. And of course, a big thank you to our guests and our medium tonight, Jo. We'll be back, as I say, on Thursday. But for now, from Littleport, it's good afternoon and God bless. And to anyone who's on the south of the planet, good night and God bless as well, because I imagine it's quite late.